Hey. So I mentioned in the Creative Life video that I've been feeling more confident. And there's a whole host and nebulous of reasons why I've not felt confident and why I'm starting to feel confident. And because charisma is like this swing that happens, but then confidence is like kind of the spike you have in the cliff that you're not gonna go past that. Like, yeah, you might have a bad day, but at the end of the day, this is your bedrock, and you're not gonna go further than that. You're not gonna let yourself fall into just like that sort of thing. So that's kind of my preface. When I was growing up, I realized that I was pretty, and even watching my own videos, I'm like, man, my skin looks really good on there. Okay. And it's just weird to think about how a girl that I obsess over in the mirror, and I'm like, man, I've got this stuff on my nose. Can I get this out? And then the person that I see in my own videos, it's like, oh, so that's what they see, and then this is what I see, and just the dichotomy. And then so there's my opinion of myself versus others' opinions, and then there's society's opinion of beauty, which is, I know that in some regard I meet certain standards for society's idea of beauty, and I felt terrible about that. Like, there's girls who pride themselves in how gorgeous they are and they do it up. I was like the other end of the spectrum, where I was trying to hide myself and uglyfy myself. Not all the time, 'cause I would have charisma swings, but for the most part, I lived in a lot of shame that society treats pretty people differently. And I thought it was just so unjust that society would have such standards, and that, all people are made in the image of God, and all girls are made to be beautiful and are made to be admired and honored. And why would society try and mess with that? But to be honest, it's the spirit of the age and the Zeitgeist and the enemy, and so there's a lot more forces than just society. So for me to blame society is kind of a cop out, but that's a general term that I'm using because that's the phraseology that most people are used to. So I let that give me a lot of shame. And so while I have worn makeup, I've worn a lot of makeup, especially when I was in ballet, on stage, in the theater, and then in real life, not knowing what line to walk of, do I wear foundation or not? That's a waste of time and money, and it's one more thing to take off your face, and blah, 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 and mascara or eyeliner or eyeshadow. And like, if you start, then you have to do this, and finding the stopping point and what was realistic for me for putting on makeup and what I was comfortable with. It was this whole process. Like, if I had my druthers, I would wear pink and purple and blue and green, and I'm dabbling with multi layers of eyeliners with like a little shadow, and oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Anyways, so it's been really hard to understand, okay, I'm beautiful naturally, how much do I accentuate that? Am I taking pride in this? How do I walk with humility? How do I just be human and not overthink any of this? And it's really interesting. There's a couple engineers at my job who I would say I'm decently friends with, and God's used them in my life. Although they're not Christian, God has used them in my life to grow me and challenge me, and I've been afraid of both of them because there's just this impulse that I have for codependency and attraction to them, and was very interesting is that the past couple of weeks, I'm in accounting now, so basically that's like being in the convent. Fabulous. It's all women, I don't have to deal with testosterone. It's been really, really good detox for me. So I got to see them the past couple of weeks, and which is rare, and my impulses and my bodily emotions in response to them were not there. It was not the same level of fear that I'd had a year ago. So it was really cool that God used them, you know, not just to grow me, but also to kind of be a litmus test for my level of healing and learning to trust men and not be afraid of them. Because a lot of being afraid of being beautiful has been being afraid of men. And there's a lot to that there's a lot to that inside of me that I don't even understand yet, but you deal with one cube of the iceberg at a time. So better get out the hairdryer. And my hair is big and fluffy, and it's so much fun. And why not have fun with big and fluffy? And no, I don't go to work like this because it's too much passion and charisma, but, you know, most of my early YouTube videos, they look like this. And now I'm okay looking like passionate, fluffy Afro girl. So, yeah. I know this was a massive vlog about me. Sorry, not sorry. But I hope you're doing well, and I'd be interested in hearing like what you feel like is keeping you from being confident, and if it's English much? No. And if any of this video helped you, I would love to know how, and I'd love to encourage you as well. So, yeah. Alright, friend, my name's Meg, I love my Jesus, and I believe in living inside out. Live it.